That's quite a start to Sam's career. He, of course, longtime umpire, retiring in 2023. Was a great pitcher there in college. And he loves Opie from Andy Griffith, the show. We have a conversation. Sam, pleasure. How are you today, pal? Okay?
I'm doing great, Chris. Doing great. Thank you for having me on.
You got it. That's quite a start to your career. How about that day in August when you had to get McGuire the heck out of there and Tony La Russa? A couple of Hall of Famers. Thoughts with that? Go ahead.
Yeah, that was really something. Like you said, a real eye-opener to start my career out with. But, it's all a learning experience, and you gain experience through all of it, and you get through it. And, Mark turned around the next day. He got over to third base and gave me a little wink and stuff like that. So all was good.
Well, how about that? That's a good little story, Sam. Nice job. All right, the Game 7 behind the plate in 2016, one of the most historic games you're ever going to see. I don't remember anybody complaining about any balls and strikes calls. Plus, you had a rain delay in the 10th inning. What a famous one for you that night. Let me hear. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was the absolute pinnacle of my career. What a pleasure that was to be able to work. Never been so nervous in my life going into the game, but once the game got going, we, kind of settled in and got into a rhythm. And like you said, it had a little bit of everything, extra innings, rain delays, and all that stuff. But what a pleasure and real honor to be a part of that.
And I'll tell you, Rajah Davis, Sam hits the homer in the 8th inning. You were probably as shocked as anybody else. And you could say anything you want about Chapman. He got those 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th with you behind that home plate against the middle of the order, 6-6. That was a pretty gutty performance by Chapman. How about that night? Go ahead.
Very, very much so. And I crossed paths with Rajah for the first time. He's actually working with MLB the past couple of years. And I told him, I said, I've got a bone to pick with you. You made me work a little bit of overtime going through there. But what a tremendous game. And to see the Cubs win the championship after so many years, it was just an honor to be a part of it.
All right, let's have some fun. You're an umpire. You're used to it. How about a little controversy with the infield fly rule there? Cardinals, Atlanta. Sam, help me out. I remember that in the playoffs in 12, I believe it was. Let me hear your take. Go ahead.
Yeah, working left field and like Richie Garcia said that he and I are probably the only ones that could get in trouble working one of the outfield lines. But the ball went up. The ball went up, and Pete Cosma got down and settled in underneath of it and was waving everybody off. And the second that he kind of his momentum stopped going backwards is when I called the infield fly. And I think, to be honest with you, Chris, I think what happened was, the crowd was going so loud that I really screamed infield fly to let them know that the batter was going to be out and that I called the infield fly. And I think that Pete was thinking that Matt Holliday was calling him off of that ball, because you see him kind of turn and head back towards the infield. I think that if I hadn't called it so loud, I think that he would have gone ahead and caught it, and nobody would have said a word about it. But, it is what it is. And, you go with what you're taught at umpire school, and that's the way that I called it.
Sam, how many of the players, 50%, give me a number. How many players I know the pitchers do, but how many everyday players have an awareness of every umpire? They know they call you by first name. They say, hiya, Sam, haven't seen you in a couple of months. Where have you been? What's the relationship that the fan doesn't see sometimes with the average major league player with an umpire, a guy like yourself who is around for 20, 25 years? Let me get a feel of that. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a working relationship, and every batter that comes up, will turn around and say hello to the catcher. They'll turn around and say hello to the umpire usually, and we'll have a conversation when you're out there on the field. You get to know these people. A lot of the players, I came up through the minor leagues with. A lot of them have moved on, obviously, by now, and a lot of them are becoming managers and general managers and so forth like that. But it's a working relationship, and you get to know these people. You get to, some of them even, know about their families and ask about that and so forth. So It's a good relationship until, something happens and they disagree with a call. But other than that, I'd say, 98% of the players will come up and say hi to you and strike up a conversation with you.
That's a good number. All right. Who was the crew chief in your first major league game?
Harry Wendell's. Well, the crew chief of my first game was actually Harry Wendelstedt. Harry was. I was fortunate enough to be able to work at umpire school for Harry, and he was kind of a mentor of mine, along with him and Randy Marsh and some of the guys like that. But my first game that I got to work with in the major leagues under contract was with Harry Wendelstedt, Rich Rieker, and Jerry Lane. All guys that I'd worked with at umpire school, so I knew them very well, and they took me under their wing and really showed me how to be a major league umpire.
Oh, there you go. I like that. All right, let's do a couple of things, i.e. rules. With the umpires in your eyes, once the season starts, they're going to have to be forceful of this pitch clock. Do you expect, you guys were not that forceful when the stepping out of the box thing occurred a couple of years ago. This time there's going to be, got to pitch it in 16, whatever it is, seconds. Do you expect the umpires to be enforcing that? What's your take on that for a sec? Let me hear.
Absolutely. That's going to be a big rule, a big change coming in for this year. And I think it's going to be a good for the game. I think it's going to speed the game up. All of the stuff that I've heard from the minor leagues where they've been using it for a few years say that it really speeds the game up and gets it moving. So that's going to be a good thing. But, yeah, the umpires are going to be put on the spot to enforce that. And I think that you're going to have probably a bumpy road for the first month or so, but I think everybody's going to, get used to it and kind of fall in line, and I think it's going to be great for the game.
Do you get annoyed when everybody talks about automated umpires? I hate the automated umpires behind home plate. You guys get a lot of these pitches right to begin with, and I think there's a human element to it that I enjoy as a fan. Are you annoyed when you hear all the talk regarding that? Let me hear your thoughts there.
Yeah, with technology and everything that's come along. When I first started out in the big leagues, we didn't have the box on the screen, or we weren't judged with computers or anything along those lines. So that changed, and you've seen the umpires conform to that. And every change that comes along, the umpires are asked to enforce it, and I know that they're going to do a great job with this. And like I said, when things are a little bit bumpy in the first part, I think it'll all even out.
All right, now, I know you grew up in Kentucky and you love the Andy Griffith Show, so I have a book for you now, Sam, as you enjoy retirement. Go get The Boys. That's the Ron Howard memoir that he did with his brother. About a year or so ago. Clint was also the childhood actor, and I think they did 235 episodes of the Andy Griffith Show. But Ronnie's got unbelievably good stories. Mashed potatoes on the ice cream cone instead of real ice cream so it wouldn't melt. He didn't throw the rock into the water at the beginning of the show because he couldn't reach the water, so he had somebody in the bushes throw it. There'll be a lot of things in there that you'll love. Get that book for your retirement. How about that? Let me hear.
I will. I for sure will. That sounds like a great read, and I've got plenty of time to do that now. So I'll look forward to that.
Good job, Sam. Well done. Congratulations. Thanks for a few minutes. Keep it going here today. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me, Chris. Appreciate it.